Jay. Today's video is going to be a combination of two videos. So I realize I have not made a fall fragrance video yet. It's not really fall weather here yet. In the evenings and in the mornings it's cooler, but in the day it's still pretty hot, so I haven't been motivated to do that. I also know that a lot of you like layering videos, so I'm going to do that as well in this video. So fall layering combinations. It's a good video for me because, like I said, I haven't done the fall video yet. All these combinations are great, but also it was fun for me because my mind doesn't go to layering. I'm pretty straightforward when it comes to fragrances. I pretty much spray what is in the original composition, but it is fun. I just don't put that much effort into layering, okay? But it's fun. It's fun to make different concoctions and to see, you know, what goes good together. It just extends your fragrance collection. You can definitely, it's infinite, really, the layering combinations that you can come up with. So without further ado, I'm gonna start off with this oil that I bought. For some reason, I say chocolate is not one of my favorite notes. I do enjoy it in a composition, but if a fragrance has a prominent chocolate note, it's probably not going to be my favorite fragrance. But lately I've been kind of craving a cacao note, something kind of powdery and chocolatey. So being that it's not one of my favorite notes, I bought just a few of these small oils, and this is Choco Musk, and I think this is Al Rehab. Yeah, this is Al Rehab, and I think this is pretty well known in the community. This is just for layering, just in case I want an undertone. So this is perfect for this fragrance combination. I am definitely going to be wearing La Vie Belle Intense Mint. So this has some raspberry and some heliotrope. So what I get from this fragrance is definitely the fruitiness of the raspberry. It's kind of syrupy. That isn't the best part to me. The best part to this fragrance for me is the dry down, where that heliotrope, something other notes in here, I'm not sure. I'm not going to delve into it. There's too much here. But I'll let you know that I get a pastry feeling, and it's not necessarily sweet, slightly sweet, but it's almost bready, almondy, bready, kind of dry, powdery in the base. That's what I get. And so I thought that that would be beautiful with choco, like a chocolate note to it. So raspberry, you know, with the powdery bread-like pastry chocolate tinge to it. I tried it on the other day and it works. It's beautiful. So that is a combination that I'm looking to wear. Also sticking with the Intense Mint, I also have the Musk Diamant. So this has a raspberry note, but it's much more musky, and there's an almond note to this as well. So I was thinking with the, you know, the two raspberries, the bready almond that's not so sweet with the musky almond in here could work very well together as well. Some of these I've tried on my skin. Others I've kind of just sprayed in the air or gone back and forth with the atomizer. So some of these are just conceptual. I'll let you know the ones that I have actually tried. But this feels like a great combination as well. Also, another one that I've tried is Zadig and Voltaire with the Choco Musk, just to layer. And actually, this dries down very slowly on my skin. So this is a white floral with some chestnut, no, hazelnut. So it's kind of a nutty white floral fragrance with whipped cream. Sandalwood is prominent in here as well. Really, really beautiful. So mixed with the chocolate fragrance is beautiful. And I actually think that if I had Chocolate Greedy by Montel, I don't have that fragrance, but an actual spray, I think that would work a lot better than the musk because it just dries down so slowly that it takes a long time for the chocolate to come out with this particular combination, but it works really, really beautifully. So let's move on to the next group. And the way I like to layer, some people layer fragrance on top of fragrance on the actual, you know, area that you sprayed, one on top of the other. I like to layer, just spray and then spray. So it's not necessarily laying on top of each other, but let the fragrances come together in the air. That's the way I like to do it best. It's uncomplicated. So the next one is gonna be fragrances involving, I have a dupe of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This is by Fragranza, and this is Amarena Cherry. I'm not sure. Let's see. There you go. This smells like a syrupy, tart but sweet cherry with almonds. So I think a lot of people had longevity issues with the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I had a decant. I think I still do, but hearing those complaints, I feel like the people who were making dupes change that, because this has great longevity and it also is just very strong in the air as well. It's just a very rich fragrance. And so this combination, I tried this on skin. This would be perfect. It's delicious, it's sexy, perfect for date night, perfect for girls' night out. Whatever you're doing that's going to be out, you're going to need to be out, because this fragrance is, the combination is definitely going to project. So this is I was going to say you can use any combination of, you know, Lost Cherry, and there's a lot of dupes for Oud Satin Mood. So if you have Tom Ford Lost Cherry, I'm not sure that it would stand up to this fragrance, because this is very dense. This has an incensey feel. It's heavily rose. There's praline in here, so it's sweet. It's just a very thick, oud is definitely in here. There's some wood, but it's thick and it's rich. It's very, this fragrance is great. So it's sweet, it's thick, it's rich, and it projects. This is very sensual, very sexy. But with the addition of the cherry, the sweetness, this is not a light cherry. This is like a rich fragrance, okay? I think I said that. But together on skin, you guys, if you haven't thought of this, or if you haven't tried it, any version of these two together, I know there are a lot of dupes or inspirations, I think would work beautifully. So if you've tried it, put it in the comments. If you plan to try it and you do try it and you love it, put it in the comments. Let me know, because I think this one is excellent. I think, you know, I brought out Oud Mood too, because it is an inspiration, really a dupe of the Oud Bouquet. So I'm excited about this one. I think it's great. So yeah, let's move on. The next one, I'm going to keep the Amarena Cherry, and I'm actually going to pick up Herod from Parfums de Marly. Now this is a purely, this is a tobacco fragrance. That sweet, pungent, wet tobacco that I find so alluring and sexy. But it does have like a vanillic cherry vibe to it. So think about, I don't know, maybe everyone hasn't experienced this, but wet tobacco, maybe with a flavor, not a flavoring, a scent added to it, just to make it smell, you know, different in the air. That's what I get from here, but with the addition of this cherry note. It's not medicinal at all. It's very slightly tart, liqueur-ish, sweet, almondy cherry, beautiful, mixed with the tobacco. This is a very sexy combination as well. Let me know if you try it. There was a fragrance that I don't know if a lot of people can get yet. I didn't pull it out, but it is Dancing Roses by Viktor and Rolf. And that one I think is discontinued. I'm not sure if they plan to bring it out again. But for those of you who missed out on it, I think this is a great combination, because there are so many dupes and inexpensive options to maybe create that fragrance. So we're going to stick with the Amarena Cherry, and we're going to pick up Delina. Okay, so that fragrance actually kind of reminded me of, it's a very fresh fresh rose, like in Delina, but it has a very boozy, sweet, sexy cherry note in it that actually doesn't last throughout the whole fragrance. That fragrance actually dies down to to more of a Delina type rose. So I think with these two variations together, you're definitely gonna get a great version of Dancing Roses. So that's any version of Delina that you can find and any version of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I think they would work beautifully together. So chef's kiss to all of these so far. I'm excited. The next combination, this fragrance, okay, so I fell in love with Queer Beluga by Guerlain, and I never pulled the trigger on that fragrance. I have two of those bottles, but they're so expensive. I found a variation of it, actually without even knowing that it was an inspiration. I'm not sure if they meant to do this, but it definitely smells very similar to it. This is Rev de Cashmere. Look at that. By Van Cleef and Arpels. And this is the softest, just like Queer Beluga, the softest, powdery, but in a way creamy type leather in the background. It's just very soft, sweet even, leather, okay? Like a vanillic leather, soft, all buttery. This fragrance is completely buttery and powdery. But to give it a little, this very unisex, could be completely down the line unisex, but to give it a little feminine edge, I was thinking you could mix it with Delina Exclusive. And this is that type powdery, so there's powdery in here. This is powdery as well, but with like a creamy rose. They would go beautifully together as well. So I haven't tried this one on skin, but I'm definitely excited to try this one out. So that is Rev de Cashmere, which reminds me of Queer Beluga by Guerlain. So any variation of that you might find would work well with, I know there's a lot of variations of Delina Exclusive as well. So, you know, they don't have to be these exact bottles for you to try them out. So I thought that was great about these combinations as well, because they're all popular fragrances, most of them. The next one I found is newer to my collection, and it is an almondy fragrance. It's not the thickest, the richest almond, but it has a fruitiness on top. This is Rose Arabia. I think this is a Underwittian, but this is Rose Arabia and this is almond. Okay, so there's some fruitiness on top. I think there's peaches in here, could be some raspberry, not quite sure. Maybe I'll put the notes up for this one. I've never mentioned this one before, but it's sweet. It's sweet, powdery, slightly fruity, but the powderiness is definitely almond. It's candy-like. It's a candy-like fragrance. But just to amplify maybe some of the fruits and the vanilla, I was thinking I could mix it with Mancera Vanille Exclusive, because this has a heavy peach note on top. And so it's just going to amplify the fruitiness of the almond, the Rose Arabia. So I'm excited to try that one as well. Let me put these back. That's the end of that grouping. The next one I'm also excited about. So you know I had to bring out Kaed, which is a leathery, vanillic, spicy fragrance, okay? Woody as well, oh, very beautiful. So I was also thinking that this could be mixed with Givenchy La Interdite Rouge. Now this has a blood orange top with some ginger, but also some florals. So that ginger would go well with the spices that are already here. Adding some florals to this with the leather and the woods and the vanilla. Beautiful, beautiful mixture. I've tried this one on skin and it goes very, very well together. Excited to wear this more in the cooler weather. The next one, I said I wasn't going to get this fragrance because I felt like it was similar to Wajan, because it's a dupe inspiration of Angel Share. I have Wajan. Angel Share to me is Wajan with booze. And so I didn't want to be repetitive, but I caved after I heard everybody talking about it. I went ahead and got a bottle, and I don't regret it. I think it's worth having both in your collection. Very, very, this definitely is sweet. I get like a caramelly nature to this fragrance. Boozy, rummy. It's definitely boozy, maybe whiskey-ish, rumish, I'm not sure. But with the addition of some leather and some spices, this one works very well together as well. So that's the Kaed mixed with the Camera by Latafa. Try this one out. It's really beautiful. Another combination, we're going to stick with the Camera. We're going to kind of go back and forth here with the Camera and the Kaed. This one, I think you can find better now. It was hard to find for a minute, very popular, but then it was harder to find. And I'm hearing people talk about it more now. This is Casablanca, so appley, cinnamon, mixed with, you know, some boozy sweetness, vanilla. Can't go wrong with that. This is woody enough, this is strong enough to stand up because this is a very thick fragrance. So these would stand up to each other very, very well. So if you want some apple with your booze, I think this would be like a Crown Royal apple. You know, try it out. I think it would work very well. I mean, it works for me. So that is Camera mixed with Casablanca. I was also thinking, if you had it, that it could stand up to the Noble 1942 as well, which is another caramel apple. This apple is a little more fresh though, not so caramelly. So a fresher take on that would work well. And I think Olympia by Paco Rabanne would work well with Camera because it's vanilla but very salty and a heavy dose of white florals in here as well. So I was just thinking like a salty vanilla on top of some booze and caramel would be very beautiful as well. So I think that is that for that grouping. Let me see if I think of something else while I'm looking at everything. I'll let you guys know. I think that's it for that. So the next grouping is the last one, and I was looking at my Eilish and my Nebris. Okay, so these vanillas are kind of green on the top, kind of spicy on the top, but they definitely, this top is still still hard to open. They definitely dry down to a richer vanilla. Okay, so it's kind of soft, spicy green at the top. With a richer vanilla as it dries down. And I was thinking that greenness, maybe it could be brought out with, I have Gucci Guilty Absolute. So there's a blackberry note on here, but there's also some green in this. It's very tart, this fragrance. The berry is a little bit sweet and juicy, but there's a pininess to this fragrance that I think would go very well with the vanilla, which is rich, but also bring out that greenness of these fragrances. So that is Gucci Guilty with the Nebris or the Eilish. It's beautiful. I tried this one as well, so it works very well together. And if you don't have that one, if you do have Eau Dwell, this is the EDT that I have from Diptyque, because this is a very green, piney vanilla that would definitely stand up to the greenness that is in the Gucci Guilty Absolute with the berries green and vanilla, a beautiful combination. So those are my fall layering combinations slash fragrances that I'm excited to wear this fall video. I love this fragrance. Yeah, so if you guys have tried any of these, if any of these fragrance combinations sound appealing to you, let me know in the comments. What are you looking forward to wearing, and what are you looking forward to wearing this fall? What have you been wearing? I know we're halfway into fall already. But yeah, just a fun video. It was fun for me. Like I said, I get to play in the fragrances, and making different combinations is definitely interesting to me and exciting. So I guess that's it for today. Love, Jay. Bye-bye.